So it's 10:37. 3 hours ago, after taking my dog out, I came into the apartment and it was just so hot. It's July 5th, 2013. Record temperatures. I started to sweat and I thought, I gotta dive in the pool. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, because they close at 8. But I went over there, didn't say a word. She slammed her hands down like, oh, great. Like, like she's not going to get out early, or I don't want to misinterpret, I have no idea, but I said nothing. And I went to sign in, and she starts in on me. Ma'am, if you don't wear an appropriate swimming costume, or I don't know if she said outfit, if you don't wear an appropriate swimming outfit, I'm not going to allow you to go into the pool. And it just wasn't real. And it wasn't clear on if this is the first time she's telling me this. Every time I go, there's something, and this is the latest one. She's never said anything like this to me before. Oh, but dear police officer who she called last week because I didn't put my apartment number, if you'll remember, I hesitated to get out of the pool because I told you I felt self-conscious, and the entire pool, all the people were looking at me, so I just said I felt self-conscious, and that's why I didn't just run out to go sign the paper. So just note that she noticed that. Like she's, and she may have read something where I had put holes in that pair of pants because the chlorine does eat at them. But I had a different pair of pants on today, but it's basically the same exact thing I was wearing, only a long yoga shirt that, basically it's like an old-fashioned swimming costume, covered from my knees to my shoulders. But the point is, she has come up with a new way to abuse me, and I just said to her, why? Why are you doing this? And I ignored it, and I just went in the pool, and then the people that were there, there's the man who doesn't even live here, with a couple of very nice women, and I feel bad to say this, but they had a baby that had big, fat, droopy diapers on, and you know that they weren't swimmies. So, and I don't even care at this point, and I didn't say anything. But right in front of the lifeguard, right on the steps, right in the front there, she's got a man with street clothes on, a Hanes wife-beater t-shirt, and his, shorts that are like regular street shorts, and the baby with the diaper drooping so much it was practically down to its knees. I didn't say anything about the baby because I just didn't want to anger the parents, because they were already annoyed enough that I took their picture, and I tried to apologize to them, to say I'm just trying to prove my point that, and then there's another guy in the corner who I think lives next door, I'm not sure, he, is wearing, to his knees, men's shorts. Oh, and here's the best part, I said it's okay that he's wearing street clothes, but I can't wear a yoga outfit, and she said, well, he's a man, and if he needs to cover up, that's okay. Quote. And that's on the recording. So she can't take that back. And so it just amazes me that she's still running with this. That's why I record, to just prove that I am so being harassed. And then even her, I said, who said this to you? Who are you telling how I'm dressed? And she goes, it doesn't matter. And then, long story short, because I'm about to run out of time, she calls her supervisor, and he wanted to speak to me. And I said, great, let me talk to him. I said my name, first and last name. He said, this is Tony. And I said, what's your last name? And he said it was D-U-B something. And she didn't want me to hear that. She immediately pulls the phone away and starts saying, you see how difficult she is? because I didn't hear it the first time he said it, and I asked him to repeat it. And then she's like creating this extra drama to give him the impression that I'm doing anything, and all I did was, want to tell him what my experience has been. And she realizes that she did not want me to talk to him, and anybody who can't see that in the video can go fuck themselves. I just spent 3 hours when I meant to spend 10 minutes in the pool and come home and do some things I had to do. I went into the woods and hid like an animal because I couldn't believe that they were saying they were calling the police. And so the idea that these people would come and actually believe her, that I did anything to deserve to be treated like that, scared the shit out of me. So I went looking for a board member, and I ended up behind building 1, and I'm like, uploading my video so that if the police ask questions, they can just see it for themselves. And I was scared to death that in my mind I kept picturing something like getting blown out of proportion. And it took me an hour. It took me like an hour and 15 minutes to get, it was about 10 minutes of video off of my phone. And the connection was bad, so it kept not taking it. And then I was losing power, and I was scared to not have my phone. I was afraid to run into her. And then at this point it's getting dark, and when I finally walked to my car, I swear I think I still saw her. I saw an African-American person with a white t-shirt on, and that's what she had, and it looked like her hair cut, but I couldn't really tell. It kind of looked more like a man, so I'm not really sure it was her. But my heart was racing, and it's like, what is she going to do? And then I just couldn't deal with, if the cops were actually going to be at my house to want to talk to me. And so I went to Shop and Stop, and then I got there and realized I didn't have my pocketbook, so I couldn't go in. I wanted to, get some milk, and then I'm driving home, and I was just so afraid to, run into this continued confrontation. And so I just got out of the shower, and I'm laying in bed. I'm afraid to turn on my TV and have anyone know I'm home. I mean, how pathetic is that? And I assume at this point, the police must know that this is ridiculous, but how can she not be charged with a crime? It's so obvious that she was doing what she was doing for the sole purpose of harassing me. I don't understand how this isn't a conspiracy, which is really, something that you would get federal officers involved with. This is between the abuse from whoever the idiot was this morning telling me that someone is telling him this, and I tried to sell pickled eggs at the farmer's market, and somehow that leads to trouble. And it's that's why I'm filming everything, because I'm so polite, and I'm just a decent person that can't get rid of this black cloud that seems to be created for me. Oh, this is way too long.